Happy Christmas to you. Happy Christmas to you.
Happy Christmas!
Welcome to day 11. So today we're going to make a vegan plum pudding from scratch. Before we start, will you click the bell just beside the subscriber button so you get notified when we release another fabulous recipe. If you didn't know, this was part of our 12-day Christmas extravaganza of vegan video recipes. Woohoo! These are to equip you for and to be ready for any vegan coming around for dinner. Or this is a plum pudding, so a take on the tradition of plum pudding. Plum pudding, if you don't know, is an incredibly decadent, gooey, fruity, magnificent something that just brings me back to my childhood. I love this dessert.
I wouldn't even say childhood, I'd say we've had it every year of our lives at Christmas.
Yeah,
it's very tasty.
This is a vegan version. It does take 3 hours to steam, but we're going to show you how, and it's well worth it and easy to do.
Okay, so first of all, you got a pot, put it in a high heat. I've got 200 ml of red wine, vegan of course.
And don't worry, with the heat, the alcohol is going to boil off.
I've got 140 grams of a dark brown sugar. That's a demerara sugar. You could use a castor sugar if you don't have it.
Or coconut sugar if you prefer.
And we're just going to simply heat that up until the sugar dissolves in it. So it'll probably just bring it to the boil and knock it down to a simmer.
As that happens, I'm going to make some mixed peel. So mixed peel you'll often buy in a shop, but it's very easy to make your own. So I'm going to take the peel of 1 lemon and 1 orange. Just literally take the peel. We don't want any of the pith.
So as soon as the wine and sugar comes to a boil, just reduce it down to a gentle simmer. I've got another small pot. I'm going to pop it on a high heat. Okay, so into this small little pot, I've got 80 grams of coconut oil. I'm just going to melt it because it works much better melted.
I'm just chopping the orange and the lemon peel into just fine strips. We're going to pop it into the red wine and the sugar and just to soften it up. There's our mixed peel, and it goes.
Looks cool, doesn't it? So boiling it just really softens it and it kind of takes away the edge off it. But it works really well. This helps to bind it. The pectin really helps to bind it. Okay, so next up we've got 420 grams of sultanas. Stephen, question. Did you know sultanas are actually green grapes?
Wow! You could
interesting.
use raisins, also known as red grapes.
Oh, good one, Steve. Thanks for that. Okay, so 420 grams of raisins / sultanas, 85 grams of white flour. We're using spelt white flour, but whatever white flour you want.
Okay, add 1 teaspoon of mixed spice.
85 grams of breadcrumbs. What we've done is we just had a leftover loaf of rye bread, which we just blended up in a food processor and then we leave it in the freezer. So that's just 85 grams of breadcrumbs. But once you use your own, you'll know then they're going to be brown breadcrumbs, so they're good.
Okay, in on top of our wine, sugar, and mixed peel, we have 1 tablespoon of one of the stickiest substances on the planet, known as molasses, blackstrap molasses. High mineral sweetener, really tasty.
Really high in calcium. But what's great about heating and adding into this means it just melts right the way into it. Okay, now it's really just a matter of adding all our ingredients together. We've got our coconut oil, we're just going to add it in here. And we've got our red wine, sugar, mixed peel concoction. And molasses. So we're adding that all in. It looks cool. So quite a few, you might have noticed that quite a few of our 12 days of Christmas, the ingredients are quite similar for quite a few of them. And I guess we purposely tried to do that to try to limit the amount of ingredients to make it much more accessible.
And even the thing of just making your own mixed peel, it's something a lot easier to find an orange or a lemon than a mixed peel can sometimes be hard to find in the shop.
Okay, as soon as everything's mixed together, we just took a basic plastic tub which we had that was the shape of a plum pudding. This is a small little one. And what we've done is we've
use
lined...
a larger one. In this case, we'll get 2 small ones like this.
We just put a little bit of baking parchment down the bottom of it, and then it's just a matter of filling it up.
Just careful to keep our little square in place. Oh, I love all that gooey juice.
It really is beautiful.
Next step, take 2 squares of baking parchment like this, about this size. We're just going to go over the top. This is how to seal it, because we're going to steam this for 3 hours, both over the top. On top of that, we're going to put...
So that's 2 layers of baking parchment, and we've taken 1 square of tin foil, same thing, or aluminum. You might know it as in the States.
Next step, take a little bit of twine, and we're going to just wrap it around here just to make sure that the steam does not get in underneath our pudding, our plum pudding. We're going to wrap it tightly, so don't be afraid of doing it double way around. Tie it one way, or your twin holds it, and the other way.
Oh, good technique. Okay, so what we're going to do now, as soon as it's wrapped, is we've made our own kind of homemade steamer. We've taken a tray, lasagna, typical casserole tray which you've had. We've covered it with about, I don't know, 200 ml of water, the bottom quarter of it with water. We're literally going to sit it in it. We've preheated the oven to 160 degrees, and we're going to steam it for 3 whole hours. So we steamed it for 3 hours and we somehow managed to leave it cool for kind of half a day really.
Yeah, so now it's time
The
to
unveiling.
unwrap our present. So take our little bit of twine off. This is the big unveil.
Dun, dun, dun. Off with his hat, or her
Hey!
hat. Woo!
So you see it's lovely and cool, and you see it really has gone moist and almost caramel-like. Flip it out. Yeah!
Wow,
She's
look at
cool. Beautiful. I love the way it
cool.
just forms this lovely kind of layer to it. This normally we used to serve with cream. I think the best way to serve is with coconut cream.
It's fantastic, really, really good. And as Stephen said, what our granddad used to do, he used to pour brandy or some kind of alcohol in it and light it, and it goes up in a flame. So it's really, really
The
cool.
alcohol
Great thing to
burns
do.
off and it has that lovely flavour to it. It just looks like a beautiful kind of... I remember we used to walk in with it glowing and we'd all go, wow.
All the lights we turned up was kind of like a Christmas cake. There you have it. That's vegan plum pudding, day 11 of our 12 days of Christmas. I don't know.
This is one of my favourite desserts. This is something I would highly recommend.
Yeah, it's something that it's very entwined with memories and nostalgia for us. But let us know what your favourite Christmas dessert is. We'd love to know. And yeah, send it out
Happy
to Christmas
Christmas.
love. Cheers.